welcome you to Hurst. I want to make sure that everyone signs up with a QR code, please. Your attendance is very appreciated, and I want to have that you're here today. By the end of the meeting, we're going to arrive for a $25 gift card. So please sign, and then I have for the gift card so you can see it. I want to apologize for the breakfast. The breakfast is late today. That was a mistake with the day. They have the breakfast for tomorrow. So first time, but that's a human. I mean, it's just a mistake, but breakfast is on their way. So I want to welcome to all of you here. I see new faces today, where I'm so glad. Can you raise your hand if this is the first time you're here? Welcome. This is wonderful, really. Thank you very much for attending our meeting. There is a lot that you can see here in Enlace. What we do, what Enlace do is connect organizations together. What we do for the community is create ideas and be with each other, create what the community needs. We have committees on health, legal, education, so we create what we need and we support each other. So thank you very much for being here. And I want to let you know today we're going to have two speakers. We're going to have Natalia Neres and Justin Hurst. So we're going to start with Natalia. And please welcome Natalia. Natalia is with the Smart Start. She's the coordinator intake home visit. And she will let you know what she's doing and the wonderful job beside that she's doing with us.
Thank you, everybody. I know we all are hungry, so don't judge me. Thank you for being here. My name is Natalia Neres, and I work with Smart Start of Mecklenburg County. We do a lot of things pertaining to early childhood education. We prepare children and families so they can thrive and arrive ready to pre-K. But we strengthen the family. So one of the programs that is based on research is home visiting. We want to start early. So as soon as a mom is pregnant, we can help and have services with home visiting. So I want you to imagine, I know it's not difficult for you because you work with the community, to a new mom or a newcomer arriving here and not knowing what to do pertaining to her pregnancy, her baby, and so knowing that she's not by herself, that there is someone that is prepared, that is trained, and they will help her along the way with any questions she has, breastfeeding, strengthen the family, just the fact that she knows that she's not alone. That's a big thing. But also that she has research, she's a teacher, she's a nurse, and she goes to their house and adapts to the needs that the family has at the moment. And we know the situation we have with eyes and different problems. So what a beautiful and wonderful thing that they can visit safely at home. So that's home visiting. Home visiting is a strength-based program that helps the family in different aspects. It's empowering the family too. We teach them how to do it. We support them along the way. We visit regularly. It's a voluntary service and it's a free service for all families in Mecklenburg County. It's easy to apply, and there is not a lot of requirements for them to receive these services. But even though we were giving all those services, we realized that not everybody knew about it, and the navigation in services sometimes is very difficult and lengthy, and we don't know where to start as well. So we also have a program, a system called Coordinated Intake, and I'm the Coordinated Intake Specialist. So we create a hub of information in which we have the home visiting services in one place. So you have the information in your table. The family just scan the QR code, put her name and like some easy questions that the family can do from their phone, and then someone in their language will have a one-on-one conversation. We know that our families want to trust, we want to build trust, and they want to sit with a person. And we are compassionate, we want to know how they feel, what they need, where they're at, and from there we refer them to other partner services, parents as teachers, caring, and different services. And the families don't leave, or we don't hang up until we know what they need. They feel that they can trust. The information is not shared with anybody else. There is no safety concerns about the information. And we refer them to nutrition and other services. A lot of you, I have your information if you want to share with me as well. We refer them to other services that we realize the family has at the moment, not just home visiting, but other services. So the coordinator index is to help families feel safe and navigate these difficult systems and receive all the services in their homes. So I'm gonna play the video for you to know more about home visiting. If you know any families from 0 to 3, please send them our way. We have bilingual services. Thank you for listening.
Smart Start of Mecklenburg County is an educational program that helps children 0 to 5 prosper. It's really important because that's when children are learning their learning. So that's when they're learning the moves, the want to do the moves, and you want them to learn the right way. Home visiting is important because it centers around the family. It helps build the bonds and strength and also educate families. And it meets families where they are and to go to get them further on in life. Just the benefits alone, making sure that parents are being educated on children being healthy, parents being educated on how to be parents, trying to make sure that children are being helped and getting raised. It helps alleviate stresses because the parents are educated to know how to handle a child in the situation that they're in. It helps families advocate for themselves as well as education. So with the home visiting collaboration, we do get together at least once a month and we talk about the highs and the lows of each program and what they can do to help other programs. This is important to community leaders because obviously owners are actually taking real lived experience and putting it into their policies that help their families more without going through the struggle to say what's needed or how it's needed and support that our voices are being heard so that they can move to the family and work together.
So that is home visiting, and I forgot to say we also care about brain development and early diagnosis. I know you work with children, you know that we have a lot of diagnoses now of autism and different developmental needs, and that also is very helpful for us to diagnose early and refer early. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. And Natalia also is our leader of our culture. So she's the one who is leading the Ventanas Culturales. So everything that you see in social media. Thank you, Natalia. I want to first say thank you to Chase. Justin is here representing Chase because they sponsor our breakfast today, and the breakfast is late, but it's not Justin Forrest, it's Army's Day or Chick-fil-A with the days. So, but first I want to say thank you, Justin. This is wonderful. Breakfast is on the way, should be in a couple of minutes. And I want to introduce now Justin Hurst from Chase. Justin don't let you fool, he speaks Spanish very well. So be careful what you say in Spanish because so, Justin is very good friend of mine, so he's been doing a wonderful job in the community. So please listen what you have to say in the front.
I appreciate it. Thank you. No sé de lo que ella está hablando. Yo no hablo español, entonces no sé. And then, do I have a little clicker for the slides?
Yeah, unfortunately don't.
Just hit the button.
Yeah. Is that an arrow?
All right.
You want me to stay there, Justin, and I can?
No, that's okay. You can sit back and enjoy. All right, I got it. Cool. So thanks for having me today. Excited to share about a really important topic. Whether you're a business owner or not, I think it's actually very applicable. You're going to see a lot of this presentation that is geared toward business owners, but again, very, very important and timely for any individual. So we have a special program at Chase nationally called Coaching for Impact, where we do one-on-one coaching and training for business owners in our local city. I lead that program for our Charlotte market. We have that program in over 60 cities in the U.S., and there's over 100 of us that do it, where we provide no-fee, one-on-one complimentary coaching to business owners locally. So we don't charge for it, whether they bank in Chase or not. We're, as far as I'm aware, the only bank that actually offers that service. So if you are a business owner here in Charlotte or wanted to introduce me to a friend or someone that owns a business that wanted just some one-on-one help, it includes 6 sessions where we talk about their cash flow and capital and digital marketing and some of the necessary ingredients. Happy to speak after, and I'll have my contact info on one of the slides. But we're going to dive in and have a little fun on Wednesday morning talking about cybersecurity and fraud. I know everybody thinks when we think about fun, that's what pops in their mind. But I want to start with any idea, any guess in the room to how much money Chase moves in one day?
Millions.
How much money does Chase move in one day?
Billions, maybe.
Billions.
What's that?
Billions.
Billions. All right. Wait. Anybody else? No guesses? Just billions?
Yep.
Yeah, billions.
Chase Bank, we move $1 trillion a day.
That's a lot of billions.
That's a lot of billions. 1 trillion.
We want a piece of that.
That's right. That's right. I mean, nice to have a little piece of that, wouldn't it? But you know, and it's important. Like at a bank, we typically do 3 things. Okay, we move money, we hold money, and we lend money. All right. All 3 move together. All 3 are important. A lot of what we do for clients is we try to grow their money, right? We have an investment arm, those kind of things. But wouldn't it be kind of silly if we grew money but didn't protect it, right? You got to balance both. So I hear a lot of business owners that I talk to want to grow their company. I'd say a solid 95%. That's what they say. They want to grow their company, they want to scale it, all that kind of stuff. Rarely do I hear a business owner that says they want to protect their company. All right, both are equally, arguably, important. All right, so today we're going to talk about protecting, mainly a company, but again, this applies to any person in the room. But we're going to talk about how to protect your funds, your identity, your personal information, all that stuff. This is a growing concern. I'll start with an example. I was at a Chase branch, and I had to do some phone calls and some Zoom calls and stuff. And as I walk in, there's this lady at the ATM that has like a duffel bag. I'm like, that's a little weird. I just, walked on by and sat at my desk and took a 30-minute Zoom call. And then I get off the call to go get some water, and I'm like, and she's still there at the ATM. I'm like, that's weird. Normally someone does an ATM for like 60 seconds. So she's there 30 minutes. So I just sometimes I don't mind my own business. I went right up to her and I said, hey, I'm Justin. I work at Chase. And, you've been here for a while. Is everything okay? And how can I help? Yeah, I'm not a branch employee, so I don't know everything there. But how can I help? And she said, no, I'm good. I was like, okay. I said, just be blunt. Like, you've been here for 30 minutes. Like, and I saw some cash in the bag. I said, like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? And we're here to help. Not trying to pry on your business and stuff, but we're here to help. And she said, well, I got a call this morning from the IRS, and I have a $10,000 tax bill, and I need to pay it right now. I do a deposit, and they gave me an account number and a routing number at Chase, and I gotta put the money in. And I said, well, how much money have you put in there so far? And she said, because she was going to the teller line and stuff, she said $5,000, and she had the other $5,000 in her bag. I was like, all right, why don't we pause for a second? I said that was not the IRS. The IRS does not call people. Any kind of disputes and stuff are handled via mail or in a courtroom. Those are your 2 options. So I said, why don't you come on over? And I said, how were they talking with you on the phone? We need that account number and routing number, and got a copy of the transaction. And I had to pull in the branch manager and our back office fraud security team, we were able to, within 30 minutes, freeze that gentleman's account.
Wow.
Nothing could go in or out. They ended up obviously doing an investigation, closing it, and we got her money back. It took about a month. We opened up a new account for her and had her put the $5,000 in there, just to keep it safe. But anyway, that is actually normally not what happens. So we normally catch it too late because they notice it too late or they talk to us too late. Normally that person would have already closed their account, taken out the funds, they're all done. So if we can hit it fast, like we can normally get funds like that. But normally that's not what happens. People are definitely targeted with these kind of schemes and stuff, and we'll talk about today. They use threatening techniques, urgency techniques, to get you to do something that you normally wouldn't do or wouldn't think about. But again, these things happen often, and we can typically do something if we hear about it quickly and move on it. 30 days later, like we're not going to be able to track those kind of things. If you think about like wire transfers, stuff like that money leaves our bank in like 20 minutes. Like once it's out of our system, like we have very limited control. So a lot of this stuff is very timely, but we're going to dive into a few things, and it'll also have some audience participation. So be thinking about some of the questions that I'll ask, and there'll be a test at the end. So, all right. So we're gonna go through this. Again, that's my info if you wanted to reach out. All right. So
Go back, Justin. Wait, okay.
you want to go back?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Hey, what's Tom Cruise doing on my slide there? All right. So we're going to talk about the importance of cybersecurity. We're going to talk about common types, and then we're going to learn how to prevent it. Okay, which is 90% of the focus today. We're talking about how to prevent something because there's limited action you can do after you've been a victim of fraud or money's removed. We're going to talk about how to prevent it. Okay, that's our best source of security. All right. Why is cybersecurity important? So cyber attacks happen every day. Every business and person can be a target. The previous CEO of IBM was interviewed. I believe she's retired now, but she was interviewed and asked, "What is the biggest threat facing businesses in the U.S.?" Her answer was quick and short, but she said one word. What did she say? She said cybersecurity. That's the number one thing. All right. So this is growing. It's getting more advanced. 72% of organizations are reporting an increase in cyber attacks. That's a little scary. And understanding it is going to help us prevent costly disruptions. If there's one thing that will quickly sink a company, it's if there's fraud or money that's removed in an unauthorized way. Because I work at a bank, I have seen it more than I'd like to. And again, if you got 50 grand in the business checking and that's wiped out, like that really is a major threat to the company. If anything will shut it down fast, it's that. So we're going to talk about how to recognize attacks and protect your business. And again, a lot of this is relevant to individuals. Social engineering. All right, sounds like a fancy phrase. Here's what that means. That means that someone is using a special tactic, typically like manipulation, or somehow making you feel threatened to get you to do something that you normally wouldn't do. Okay? And there's a good rule. If your stomach says no, don't talk your head into it. Right? So if you get that feeling in your stomach like, that's not a good idea, well, you don't want to talk your head into it, right? So this is like, your scammer on the phone that says they're from the IRS or whatever, and they're demanding a payment. You're going to notice that on a lot of these things, they're going to use a lot of urgency. Like, you got to do it right now, right? You got to do it, and you got to go in 15 minutes and go make this payment, okay? That's the number one red flag, it's urgency, okay? And then obviously anything kind of like threatening of like, going to jail or any kind of like immediate action. But those are keys to pick up that this is probably not legitimate. The other thing is, and I think this is important, you know, like us at the bank and stuff.
Association Director
we're that's all right. We're there to help. A lot of people come to a bank to do a transaction. They want to do a wire. They want to get a certified check, and they want to set up an account. All that's fine. We can do all that. We really want someone to come to a bank for some advice. We give a lot of advice, counseling. I advise exclusively business owners. We have people on the wealth management side that can help you put together a financial plan out your retirement. But again, we want people to come to us for advice. And rarely, does someone come in and ask for advice on these subjects. So, next one, phishing. I don't mean the sport. Anybody care to take a stab at what phishing is? Yes, ma'am. That's the email one. That's right. The email one. Good definition. So this is when you get some type of a link in an email where they're trying to get you to click on it, and either that opens up like a gateway into your system so they can see things that maybe they shouldn't, or they're asking you to upload payment information into some kind of a link that isn't who you think it is. So you'll see this with businesses, or you'll see this with individuals where it's like a vendor or a recurring automatic payment that you need to set up. But this is someone that's not the real company. So if maybe it's a bad example, but if Netflix emails you and sends you a link to update like payment information, but turns out it's not Netflix, right? So Netflix doesn't use like a Gmail account or stuff like that. Those are obvious red flags. But that's the goal of phishing, is to get you to click on a link and upload information. Phishing, yes.
I just want to give a quick example. I'm not sure if y'all got the email that I sent out a few days ago about how an Enlace previous board member received an email from someone posing on the previous share Irlanda. They had a fake email address. So these phishing scams are very, very sophisticated. And she actually texted me, thankfully, saying that, you know what this is, there's a charge, asking for money. And I was like, oh, that's not Irlanda, like, something else is different. And I made an announcement to the Google group, so y'all make sure to read the email address correctly, because they know our names. You look them up. A lot of us have public information. So
yeah, great example. Absolutely. So it's good evidence that this happens often. Smishing. What is smishing? Huh? Nobody? All right, look, if phishing is with a link in email, smishing is a link with a text message. Text message, right? So someone texting you from unknown number, unrecognized number. Is it me? That's not me, right?
No.
On the audio. Is there a mic we can turn off or something?
It happens randomly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not you, Russ.
It's not me. All right. It's no, I got it. So, smishing is text. What is vishing? Come on.
Vishing? Maybe vishing?
I know we got a smart group in here. Vishing. So, if vishing is email, smishing is text. What do we think vishing is?
The AI voice.
The voice.
Oh.
Voice, right? So, phone calls. Right? So someone calls you from an unknown number, demanding payment information or those kind of things. That's phishing. All right. So we want you to be on the lookout for all those kind of things. Email compromise. All right. This is kind of similar, but this is when someone either hacks like a company email address or sends one where they're pretending to be someone at the company. Like for example, the CFO. Maybe you get an email and they're claiming to be the CFO of the company and they're asking for a payroll report or account information or those kind of things. But again, there's people that get 50, 100 emails a day and they're not looking super closely at every single one. So this is how they kind of slip it in and all that. Ransomware. Anybody know what ransomware is?
Where we take over your records.
Huh?
They take over your
virus almost. It's like
kind of taking over your computer, right? So there's two pieces here. The word ransom. That's a big one. I guess when somebody's kidnapped or whatever, they ask for a ransom. Okay. Ransomware is where they actually hold hostage a company's network. Okay. So they hack in. They You know, think about maybe a company like Home Depot, all right? They hack in and they literally lock down everything. Customer information, transactions, inventory, payroll, everything is at a standstill. The actual workers at Home Depot can't access anything. They can't process transactions, nobody can buy anything.
The county got hacked about 10 years ago.
Shut
Shut
down
us down for like more than a week.
Okay, yeah. And so they basically hold it hostage and say, well, you know, if you want to reopen all 10,000 Home Depot stores, you know, give us $10 million and we'll unlock it. So they hold the company hostage. This actually happens. This happens in major cities, small cities across the U.S. And it is definitely a growing problem. It can be a problem for small companies to large companies. It can be hard to track because a lot of times it's people from outside the U.S. And they ask for payment in cryptocurrency, which is very difficult to track. So again, definitely growing issue. AI-enabled scams, you're seeing this often too. So where again that might sound like a real person on the phone. Or AI scams can also be like we don't advise on any kind of LLM or AI software to put in person-specific information. So your social security number, date of birth, those kind of things, we really don't recommend that you're putting into any kind of a language model system. Because again, it has to do with the security of it. So we talked about each one a little bit, so I'm going to go through these fast. But again, this is where they exploit trust, okay, on social engineering. I'm going to talk about a few key points here. You see on this bullet point where it says the word urgent. You're going to see this as a very common thing. Okay? This should be your red flag. They want you to do something and it's got to be right now. Updated payment information, it's got to be done right now. And it does beg the question, like, why would Netflix demand that I update my payment information right now? Right? I guess I just won't stream for a couple. Like it doesn't make sense. All right. So also, you know, you can always take any kind of these emails or text messages you get. You can walk into your local bank and ask for some help. All right. Phishing. We talked about the links. You're going to look out for vague or suspicious sender names. You know, if it's an email from Walmart, it's probably not going to be from a Gmail address or a Yahoo address. Misspellings in those emails. You want to verify the actual sender before opening any kind of attachments or links. I like this last part, contacting them through other means. So if you get a phone call and they say it's from your bank, okay, and it just sounds like a bank is not going to call you and ask you for private information. They're not. They're not going to call you and ask for your social security number or payment information. We already have it. We're not going to ask for it. So, you know, if a financial institution, is calling you, you're concerned about it, just hang up and then look up the number for that bank and then call them back. Right? Look up the real number, or you can just walk on in. We're here to help. We talked about smishing and phishing, how those work together, so texting and phone calls, and again, they're trying to trick you, manipulate you into giving out information. And they do that by urgency, it's got to be now, those kind of things. So you can always block, you can block the number, you can report them, and you don't want to do any kind of any kind of financial information over those means. Email compromise, the example that we had earlier about Irlanda, that's a great example. And then typically the larger the company, the more that they are looking to do that because they think the more money that it is available. Vendors requesting urgent payment. Notice that word again. It's urgent. It's got to be done now. Those kind of things. Noticing small errors in the domain name. So if you hover over like the email address or the domain, just making sure it's the exact same one. So like this one has a 0 instead of an O. Like those are kind of red flags to be looking up for. But companies train it. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to mention with the texting for those of us that use WhatsApp, I think is most of us, if somebody goes abroad usually and they get a plan, those numbers get hacked. And recently somebody was traveling and she sends me a message and says, hey, can you send me some money? And I'm like, call me, because I want to know what's going on. And they're like, I'm in a meeting, and I'm like, this person is not in a meeting. I know they're not in a meeting. So I'm like, yeah, you're scamming me, thank you. And just, it's happened a lot with WhatsApp when people travel abroad. Somehow, if they get a plan or something, someone gets hooked to their account.
Yeah.
So that's something to be aware of
Yeah,
for those of us that travel a lot.
Great example. Great example. So one thing we always want to talk about is how do you protect yourself? Multi-factor authentication. Anybody want to share what that is?
Different ways to find out who you are. So either with a text or a call.
There you go. There you go. So multi meaning
many,
more than one, right? Many. And you might enter in your password, but then after you enter in your password, it'll then send you a text message with a code. Right? That's multi-factor. So enabling that two different mechanisms, that's important. The best is biometrics. So it's scanning your fingerprint, face scan in addition to a password. That's the best type of protection.
Even that with MFA or two-step verification with Google, SMS messaging and phone calls going away. So if you don't have that already set up where it's automatic, Microsoft, if you're a Microsoft company, you're no longer going to be able to use that.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Ransomware, we talked about that, where they hold a company hostage. Some larger companies, or even medium-sized, purchase cybersecurity and ransomware insurance. Because again, the threat is so big that they can't survive having all their customer information, everything wiped out. It's not worth it. So they'll buy expensive cybersecurity insurance that would actually pay out money in a situation like this. They might hire even medium-sized companies might hire a full an IT consultant or a cybersecurity consultant to actually come in and do an analysis on their system, on their internet, on their email addresses, on all their security infrastructure, and provide recommendations on how they can keep customer information and their information more locked up. We are going to talk in part 3 about precautions and kind of specific ways to prevent. We talked about multi-factor authentication, MFA. This section talks about keeping your software and systems up to date. So if you see like on your phone, I know it's kind of annoying, but it asks like you to update it, restart it. Those are on personal laptops. Those are because they're finding glitches, right? And then they want to patch it and fix it. So it is important to do that routinely because again, they're finding issues and fixing it. But it is meant for protection. Using antivirus, encrypted Wi-Fi, you can actually give, if you had a business, an encrypted Wi-Fi from the internet provider. They have different levels of security. There's obviously could be increasing costs and those kind of things. But they can have like a VPN, a virtual private network. They can have encrypted Wi-Fi. And again, this is really important. One lady I was coaching, she is a social media influencer, and so she's getting a lot of marketing and advertising revenue through social media. She has 500,000 followers on Instagram, but then she's making a lot of money through that mechanism. And we were going through and talking about what are some threats to your company? What's the biggest potential threat? And we agreed with cybersecurity. If someone hacks her password and they're not able to recover it and they've locked her out, like there goes her whole business. There goes her whole income stream. So we talked about, and she met with a cybersecurity specialist to encrypt her Wi-Fi, have everything on multi-factor authentication, the best antivirus software, and everything lined up. Because again, we worry about what is your biggest threat and how do we fix that. Avoiding public Wi-Fi for sensitive work, so banking, financial stuff. You don't want to be using a public network and entering in that kind of personal information. And we're really being. I know sometimes you have to give it out, but being very careful with giving out your social security number that kind of private information. Even on public websites, public social media profiles, having like your birthday with the whole year and everything. I don't know. I would be more hesitant on stuff like that, or any kind of like a home address, those kind of things. Required complicated passcodes. Don't have the same passcode for your Netflix as your bank. You want to have different ones. They've got to be complex. Like your password shouldn't be password, or those kind of things. It should be more complex with uppercase, lowercase, numbers, special characters, those kind of things. You can't use a password manager to help with that. We talked about a lot of companies do actual employee training. They might send out a test email where it is testing for employees to click on a link, and that's a fake email, right? But they do this with us once a month. Every Chase employee gets an email. It's random date, time, and it looks pretty darn legit. And their goal is to get an employee to click on it and to see how many employees click on it, right? And then they realize, okay, we have 2 people click on it. We got to do some more training, right? Because we have to know that we have to be on the up and up. Like we don't want our systems hacked and those kind of things. We spend billions of dollars annually on our systems, on security, those kind of things, because that is a massively growing threat, and we've got to protect our business clients, our personal clients, our wealth clients, everything. We talked about updating these and apps, and I know it's annoying, but there's a reason for it. Sometimes companies assign, they have a head of technology, a CTO, chief technology officer. That this is what they do full time at a company. Smaller sized companies can outsource this to a consultant or someone that might just come in twice a year and give different analysis, recommendations, those kind of things. Key takeaways. I like these top 10. These are good ones to just think about. I want to read through them. So slow down, right? It's the opposite of urgent. Just slow down. Okay, I like that. So if you feel like anything in your stomach or whatever, like again, don't talk your head into it. Don't worry about the urgency, and just slow down and think about it logically, not emotionally. And I get it. Like someone, getting a phone call saying it's from the IRS. I understand how that could be very worrisome, right? But again, the IRS is not going to call you. They don't do business that way. They do it through mail. They do it through mail or meeting in a courthouse. That'll be one of the options. So don't be clicking on links or downloading stuff from unknown sources. If you're downloading apps and stuff on your phone, like make sure you do it through the App Store, not through websites and those kind of things. Double check your email addresses and domain names for just errors. Again, like we talked about, if a bank is going to email you, it's not going to come from a yahoo.com address. Those kind of things. And we actually teach business owners that it's best to not use a personal email address for business communication. Like you should have a professional email at your company's domain name, and then outside emails can actually be tagged as external. That's a flag that hey, this is from outside our company. Using MFA or biometrics if possible. Keeping software, all that thing up to date. Not sharing confidential information, so your social security number, financial information in text or calls, and again, and sometimes it's necessary if you are talking with a financial institution, those kind of things. But just being very, very careful. Backing up your data electronically in the cloud, that's important. Reporting suspicious activity, that's very important. Limiting access to data systems based on the role and need. You'll see this at a lot of companies that everyone doesn't have access to every system. I at Chase do not have access to every system. I have limited access. There's other branches of the bank that I don't need access to, so I don't have it. Right? That makes a lot of sense. At certain companies, like if there's certain roles and stuff, you might have access to 10% of the company information. That's normal because it's on a need-to-know basis. If you don't need it, then you don't have it. Limiting access, using strong, unique passwords. so they're not reusing them. So not having the same password for Netflix and bank and retirement, all this kind of stuff. You want different passwords, and you can actually store those in like a secure password manager on your computer. We are gonna do a fun little exercise, and I don't mean go to the gym. I mean a little activity for us. There's two of them. But what would you do here? All right. So you get a late night text, and IT says your email password expired, and it asking you to reset it through a link. What would you do? Anybody?
I would question it.
Call IT.
You would question it, right?
Block it.
Oh, I like that. Call IT. So instead of responding through the text, you would just pick up your normal number and contact information for the IT department and contact them through the correct source and verify those kind of things. Okay. And again, I like this too. Your account will be locked in 2 hours. What does that point to? What theme do we talk about? Urgency, right? It's a red flag. It's too urgent. Why so urgent? Slow down, right? And then do not reply to this message. That's kind of weird, right? So again, there's some red flags in here, but you're definitely going to want to block this number, and then you would want to report it to your IT division. All right. Last one. What would you do? You get an urgent call asking for payroll records while traveling for work. So, this is Larry, the CFO. This is the copy of the voicemail. I'm about to step into a meeting. I urgently, notice that word again, urgently need the June payroll report. Send it to me in my private email. Is that kind of a red flag? Yeah. That's a good red flag, right?
Yeah.
And we won't be at a company email address. And call me back as soon as you send an urgency. Okay. All right? So what do we do here?
Call Larry.
Call Larry. I like it. You probably likely have Larry's personal, or work line. You want to just ignore this and call Larry directly, right? And then probably ask, well, why do you want it personally? But he probably would say, well, I don't know what you're talking about and all that stuff. And great, then we need to then look at other avenues of the company and make sure employees are aware. All right. Any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
If a customer calls the bank and says, I received this email from Netflix, they're asking me for my credit card number because my subscription is about to expire. If the customer calls the bank, would the bank be able to say, like, don't put in your credit card information, this is probably a scam, or would they be able to say something like that?
They might be able to say that on the phone. I think the best thing to do in that situation is just go into a branch. And that way they actually see the email and the screen.
The urgency thing. My father-in-law is very sensitive to that kind of stuff. Like, it's going to be canceled today, or
right.
Next hour.
You see the urgency.
Out, yeah.
Again, absolutely. So I would agree. There's nothing wrong. That people at a bank branch are paid to help people. So anyone can come in with a question, and they will happily sit with you and decipher whether is that really how you update the information. And then the other way to update, like again using the Netflix example, like go to Netflix's site
Right.
on another method, on like an internet browser, and then log in. Well, then you can update it. You don't want to update it through email. Yes, sir.
Yeah, many of us think this is not going to happen to me. But as soon as AI is getting more sophisticated, we might be actually being victims of this in the future. So my question is, there is a policy in the bank for if you guys detect unusual movements that you're going to call, or you're going to freeze, or what time period the banks usually use to freeze an deposit or a transfer in these kind of cases.
Yeah. So you're right. Banks do have sophisticated metrics, and they monitor things like that. Absolutely, and they can temporarily freeze a card or an account. And again, they're looking for unusual activity that's out of the norm for that person. And it's funny. Like AI is helping with that. It's helping to notice trends and all that kind of stuff. And look, sometimes we make a mistake, and someone's just traveling out of country, and you lock the card. And I know it's a nuisance, but they're trying to be a little overprotective and those kind of things, and yeah, you call and they unlock it, and hopefully no biggie. Yeah.
Also, if you're gonna travel, you can call the company and let them know you'll be traveling, so they know that it's there.
Yeah, they send you travel notices and things like that. And I'm a big fan of having your banking on your phone, on like the digital app and those things, like not having
that on your app.
Yeah, not having statements and stuff come to your address, because statements can have personal information on it.
Right.
You said that you're not a fan?
Not a fan of
and
paper.
like my daughter, they
Not
have
everything.
they pay with the phone and stuff.
Yeah, I personally think that's more secure. Than like, more secure than like a paper check, statements, those kind of things. 'Cause like, think about it. If you're writing like a paper check, that has all of your information. It has your account number, your routing number, and then, think about it like from a company's perspective. As a company gets larger and bigger, this gets more important. Like, I had one guy I was coaching. He's very wealthy. He had $1 million in his business checking account. He's like swiping his debit card at a gas station. I'm like, what's going on here? Debit cards typically don't have limits on them. So like, if somebody got that number or whatever, like this is a good one too. Debit cards access the cash in a business or a person. And I'm not saying I'm a fan of like racking up a credit card bill and not paying it, those kind of things. But credit cards are protected by U.S. law for fraud. Debit cards are not. So again, if you're out your cash, like you're responsible. The bank can replenish it. If they do, it's going to take a lot of time. Credit cards you can shut down in seconds. It's the bank's money on the line. They will refund that almost immediately. So again, putting those kinds of transactions on a credit card and then paying it off every 30 days to avoid interest, that's really the best scenario. Yes, ma'am, in the back.
Please give me the magic word, or what can I do to stop all those phone calls?
I wish I could. I wish I could have.
Don't answer.
No. If you answer and don't say anything.
Don't answer.
Yeah,
Don't answer if you don't remember. Don't answer.
I know that, but it gets annoying, but they say try to stop.
Just every time they call you, you cannot block as a spam.
I do that, but they just keep calling.
I know.
Become a different number.
Well, the same company, they have the option to remove your phone number from the list, because sometimes happen this the company sell the database to another company to do marketing.
Yeah, I like the idea of blocking them, that kind of thing. That's smart reporting and spam. Yes, Maggie.
It's not related to her question, but I would like to know a little bit about statistical data related to who is more vulnerable for this type of stuff, like generational, like I guess that elders, I guess that Latino elders will be.
You're right in the fact that elderly are definitely targeted. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and Latinos too. Sometimes I'm around my mom, she said, oh, I got a message, I had to buy this to clean my sofa. They say that I have to clean my, and I said, no, this is just an overtime, and I'm wondering, that would be a great topic to work with Pomba de Vida Susana.
Well, and you bring up a great point, Matt, because you're kind of the first line of defense for your parents and elderly neighbors, friends. Like, you might not think this is super relevant for you, but what about your mom or your dad? Like, both of my parents are in their 80s. Like they are totally targeted. Yeah. Absolutely. So, you taking some of this and teaching and helping is very important. Sir, you have a question?
Yeah, more comment.
Yeah.
Even though the data statistics aren't there yet, maybe for the Latino community.
Okay.
Since July 1st, 12 nonprofits in North Carolina have been hacked. They've had their emails compromised. 7 of those are Latino serving nonprofit organizations. So and it's becoming more common, and it's essentially people get hacked through their personal emails, they click on the link and they make you sign into your Microsoft or Google account multiple times. And you will never know that you got hacked because they will sit in your email systems for 4 to 6 weeks. And that's when they start sending out those attacks.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, good point.
I own my own IT company.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go.
Justin.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time that you take to train on this cybersecurity.
You're welcome.
You open my mind. I'm gonna change my password now. All my employees, they know. I have a private rental company, and last year, someone get into our CRM and say 5,000 emails.
Wow.
That's any software. I know that you are working with the bank, but that's any software that you can recommend us for cybersecurity for small businesses.
So I can't recommend like a specific product or company to, you know, for you to
For your expertise,
buy things
what-
from. But I might have some resources for you, and we can chat after if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I travel internationally sometimes. So can I like?
Oh, you're rubbing it in, huh?
No. Can I like just call ahead of time and be like, hey, I'm gonna be in this country. Can you not lock my car while I'm trying to pay for taxi?
Yeah, normally you can. Sometimes you can do it in the app for the bank and put a travel notice. Yeah.
Okay.
And when you use the app, it'll let you see your location, or it can track your location, and you can set up like a miles that you're gonna purchase around that area, so your car won't go up.
Yeah, there are some advanced features like that can help for sure. Yes, sir.
So because of some of these apps that some people sideload and whatnot, you know, that may be malware, one person has suggested that your banking apps or things that have, you know, kind of very personal things, you use a different device other than your personal device for that. And if I had to log into my Chase account, whatever, use the website rather than using the apps so that they don't have access to those things. Is there any relevance to that?
Well, you always have to balance convenience with security, right? And you know, the most secure thing would be to pay for an extremely expensive like internet service that has very secure Wi-Fi, all that stuff. Well, you got to balance convenience with, you know, security. You know, you want to make sure your phone doesn't have like malware and things like that on it that you know could possibly intercept things from a bank app or those things. I don't know if I'd sit here and tell everybody that they should have 2 phones.
Right.
And I don't. You know,
Right.
so you got to balance the convenience factor. And, yes, Mumford?
Now you made me think, because I have 2 phones, by the way. But you say if they prefer or they suggest use the website. I think so it's more safe use the app than the website. So if I had to choose to use the website or the app, which one is more secure?
But both are secure. The website and the app. But you know, again, we recommend the advice. Like, I don't know if I'd be going on Chase.com on like a public website and then putting in all your information on a public computer. So it might have less to do with are you going to the website or the app and what specific instrument.
More about the network.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I prefer to use the app because when you use your laptop or your computer for use the website, usually they come with the option to save the password. And this is when somebody hacked your laptop or your computer, they can have access to all the passwords you're saving there. It's more, it's often when people hack your desktop or your laptop than your phone. To hack your phone is more like have to be instead close to you or something like that. That is one option, but another one can have 2 phones.
No,
I think so. Use the app and use the phone and different.
The person wasn't suggesting a person carries 2 phones with them. It was more like if I have another phone or a tablet or something else, that is gonna be strictly for my finances and kind of like personal stuff. No social media, no nothing goes on there, that's for that, that's why it's secure. The other device is the one I'm carrying around with me all day, but if I needed to get onto my page account or whatever, I can log into this one.
I could see how that might play a difference. I'm not sure I'd say it like a blanket suggestion to everybody, but
Right.
if that made you feel more comfortable and stuff, I can see how that could potentially help. Yeah. Can we get a picture of everybody? Is that okay? You don't have to move or anything. I'm just gonna sit here. Is that all right?
Yeah.
I don't want to block anybody. Is that okay?
Over there. The official photographer? She's like that.
You got a professional photographer.
Hello.
One more.
One more phone.
Oh, actually,
Panorama.
Wow, that's a mini video.
No, panorama.
O sea, mini video sin enlaces.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you everybody for your time. I am going to hang around for a little bit. We do have a breakfast, and then if anybody wanted to take me up on, if they own a company, want to take me up on my offer of the one-on-one coaching, I am happy to do that. It is complimentary. We don't charge for it, and we'd love to chat after.
You need that.
Thank you.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to make a change.
Jason's a great thing.
Hey, all right. You certainly can. There you go.
Big one to Justin, check what the host of our records, so please say thank you. Justin, if you can send us to all of us a little words of presentation today, so everyone who wants to contact you.
Yes, sounds good.
Well, I want to let you know that in a few minutes I'm gonna do the rifle for the gift card. Please make sure that you sign, you use the QR code to sign to the meeting today, because I see I'm missing a couple people for the meeting, so make sure that you sign. We're gonna do this in a couple minutes. And I want to let you know that our next speaker is La Noticia. Diego is here representing La Noticia, and he's gonna be on the wonderful
Sterling.
So
Different
next meeting is
location.
not here. We're gonna promote this starting for today. Next meeting is gonna be in La Noticia, So please make sure that you are there.
To not get confused with the meetings.
And I'm gonna give her Enlace. We are doing things for our members. One of the things that we want to do is get more workshops for our members. So we have with that, I have my first couple things about our event that we created for our members on September 5th. Go ahead, Marford.
Hola, buenos días. We shared by the Enlace group the workshop for the September 5th. Es en la mañana, es gratis, es sobre planificación de marketing, porque a veces tenemos ideas o queremos saber, pensamos, bueno, hay que publicar algo en los social media o tener información en nuestro website, entonces, pero no sabemos por dónde empezar, no sabemos cómo materializar eso o ponerlo en práctica, entonces la idea es que aprendamos un poco el tema de la planificación. Obviamente todo ahorita viene acompañado un poco de inteligencia artificial que nos da una manito adicional, hay que buscar las cosas positivas, sobre todo aquellos que de pronto no somos muy creativos. Y pues quería robarme 30 segundos para dejarles saber, muchos me conocen, yo trabajaba en la coalición, ahora estoy con Northern Media, entonces pues, solamente quería dejarles saber a la comunidad que ahora estoy en Northern Media y si necesitan algo, uno de mis objetivos aquí es crear ese puente entre nuestra comunidad y ahora la empresa a la que represento.
Thank you. And make sure we send an email today about the September 5th.
The workshop?
Yes.
We did. So make sure that you sign because it's just very space for this wonderful meeting that Margaret is gonna host and help us. So make sure that you get a spot. She sent the email reminder today. So this is just for our members. So make sure to take advance. Thank you, Mafer.
You're welcome.
And next, I want to talk about, I'm going to send email reminder today about Póngale Vida a Sus Años. That is an event that Liliana Molina hosts. And that's a wonderful event that we're going on for 10 years. Please share this to your friends. It's 10 years of doing this. Every month, I've been helping her many times. And she's doing it. Please make sure that they skip a like. Saying, forward to your friends. Make sure that we have attendance. We need your help. The ticket is $30 per person, right? So it's not expensive, but with this, we make a difference. Please support. Póngale vida a sus años.
Se me ocurrió una idea ahorita, voy a entregar 2 entradas, 2 tickets. Si alguien me responde 2 preguntas acerca de Póngale Vida a sus años.
Okay.
¿Qué es lo que hace el programa? Yo creo
¿Cuáles son las 2 preguntas?
¿Qué es lo que hace el programa?
Y
la otra.
¿Vas a regalar una por esa y una por la segunda pregunta?
Sí.
Ok, ¿qué hace el programa? ¿Quién igual?
Ya levantó Wendy la mano, por Dios.
Wendy levantó la mano.
No, los que ya conocen el programa.
Sí,
no vale. Vamos a darle la oportunidad a los que no conocen el programa. A ver.
La deberían de decir en inglés también.
I know, but
para que
we'll
sea-
cheating if I
She wants to write for 2 tickets. So what answer? What is the program?
Ya levantó la mano.
Años do for the community.
Apoyan a la gente de la tercera edad. No había estado en uno de sus eventos. Estuve en el evento pasado porque mis hijas bailaron ballet folclórico en uno de sus eventos y todos esos adultos se miraban felices, disfrutando y se miraba que era un grupo súper unido y miré sonrisas en tantos adultos que fue muy gratificante para mis hijas bailar y participar.
¡Bravo!
Sí,
sí, ahora viene la otra. ¿Cuándo hacemos las reuniones?
When we do Póngale Vida a sus años meeting.
Organization. She helps in.
Bueno, el viernes vamos a tener el evento.
¿Cuándo se reúnen regularmente?
¿Cuándo se reúnen regularmente?
¿Sabe cuándo?
Ella sabe.
Una vez al mes.
¿Pero cuándo?
Una vez al mes.
Sí, pero ¿cuándo?
Pues normalmente lo hacen el sábado.
Ya tienen. Thank you, Thank you, Liliana.
Sí, de verdad que el evento va a estar muy bueno. Le doy gracias a las organizaciones como Alianza Venezolana que se reunieron entre la Junta Directiva y miembros y compraron 2 mesas. Gracias por ese aporte. Enlace Dominicano también se reunió con sus miembros y Junta Directiva y consiguieron una mesa también. Gracias. Y también esperamos que las otras organizaciones se unan también y el que no se pueda unir, que haga con amigos mesa y podemos reservar una mesa entre amigos. Y eso es lo que está funcionando. Lo mismo Unimujeres se unió con sus miembros, Unimujeres que está aquí, también se unió con otra mesa. Entonces, gracias a todas las organizaciones porque se están uniendo y sabemos que la causa es importante. Y tenemos el adulto mayor, la nacionalidad es de diferentes, Salvador, Honduras, México, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, o sea, es nuestra comunidad la que está unida allí, o sea, que no solamente va a unir el programa, sino que también estamos apoyando a nuestros abuelos de nuestras nacionalidades.
Gracias, Lili, gracias. Y quiero, I want to ask you, our membership fees are due, our annual membership. Please, we're going to send a reminder email today. Please do the renewal because this money helps us for many things through Enlace event. So I want to ask you, we're going to send a reminder today, please renew your membership. And I want to talk to you too, we're trying to do a lot of promotion for 2 events. So what we're doing now, we receive 2 events, we promote it to Enlace webpage, we also promote it to Instagram, to social media, and they is doing this wonderful job for us. So we want to promote your events. I know you do promote your events, but we want to help you to promote it. So please keep us in your event in our way. And next, I want to give a couple minutes to Annabelle, who's going to talk about voces. No, ¿cómo está el libro?
Voces.
Okay, voces.
This is incredibly exciting through Habilidad. So Irlanda Reese, our previous chair, we just published a bilingual anthology, and he was a master of ceremonies. We have a couple of writers, Claudia and Magnus and myself. The anthology is in both languages. And so there are 15 authors, 14 stories, and I know that this may seem like a selfish promotion, but quite honestly, it's not. I'm here in the name of Habilidad X to promote the book. It's $20. I have some books here if you buy it here today. If you order it online, it's going to be $25 because these are already printed. Now, the importance of the book. It might just seem like a story from different people, but this compiles the stories of immigration, of people being here, and how that has transformed Charlotte. And for those of you that have children that are growing up here, that have never understood where you're coming from or why you came or the things that you had to go through, this will be a great thing for them. It's gonna be in the Mecklenburg Public Library, and also it's gonna be in the Library of Congress. So our little Charlotte is going to be mentioned. We have different nationalities represented here. Please read the books. Please read the book and please purchase it. The funds go to Habilidad. It doesn't go to the writers. It goes to Habilidad so we can continue to promote writing programs. So thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Annabelle.
Thank you.
And please, I tell you, Annabelle, we're going to write for our $25 gift card that Thais have. So I have help. So between the number 20 to 60, give me one number so we got it.
20 to 60. 27.
27.
Verónica
Okay, next meeting. We're going to do this again next meeting. So, and next, I want to start to even further work to our members board and committees. So I want to start with Matis.